Wander Wealthy Podcast, episode 222. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Wander Wealthy Podcast. If you are brand new here, hello, warm welcome to you. My name is Tess. I am the host of this show, founder of Wander Wealthy, and business coach for all of the money coaches, financial coaches, and wealth coaches of the world. Whether you're new, aspiring, or a seasoned coach looking for answers, this is the podcast for you. And I'm super excited that you're here. We have a really good episode in store. I'm going to be sharing the 10 things that are stopping you from getting your first four-figure money coaching client. That means 1K or more. And I'm excited about this topic in particular because, well, we have a couple things going on. First and foremost, the Wealthy Coach Blueprint is officially open for enrollment. We are doing a group round this summer, kicking off mid-June, and right now is your time. It's your chance. It's your moment to step up and see what it takes to not only build a sustainable and strong foundation-wise money coaching business, but also how you can really show up in this world and deliver life-changing results to your clients and have such an enormous impact while also making heck of a decent income. So if that's something that you want to do and you want to learn our 8-phase blueprint process to help you do that, to help you see results in your own money coaching business and then get results for your clients within that business, the blueprint is the place for you. It is a 12-week program, super intimate, and we get to work in this sort of one-on-one format, but also help you kind of do this inside of a community, and we're going to work hand in hand building up your business from defining or refining who your ideal client is and what you are perfectly suited for in terms of how you can help them and how you can start marketing and selling a program that you are going to create so that it makes sense for them and it's going to be life-changing for them and the price point is a no-brainer. All of that is something that we do as we step through the phases of the blueprint, and you get me on your team to help you workshop things, knock things around, or get real-time feedback and support while you're out here in this entrepreneurial world, which, let's be real, can get a little bit lonely. So if you want to join us for this next round, head to wanderwealthy.com/apply. Enrollment closes next week, and I don't want you to miss a chance. So when you go to wanderwealthy.com/apply, there's more details on that page for you there. If you go all the way to the end of the page, you can click the button to fill out an application. Quick and easy breezy, just answer some questions. Let me know what's going on in your life, where you're at, where you want to go with your business. And then we are going to jump on a call. So you'll schedule our one-on-one strategy session. This is no strings attached, usually so much fun, always so much fun. We'll get to know each other, find out even more about your business, where you could take it, and talk about what the blueprint looks like and whether it's going to be the best fit for you. So wanderwealthy.com/apply to take your next step. Let's do this. Now, the other thing we have going on is actually right now, this week, we are in the middle of the 4 days to your first 1K money coaching client challenge. This is a free challenge that we have going on. And honestly, you can still sign up if you want to. There are going to be replays available until the end of next week when enrollment closes. So it is pretty timely right now. But if you want to head to wanderwealthy.com/challenge, you can get in. Between today and tomorrow, we have 2 more trainings left that you can catch live, that then you can participate and potentially win some great prizes, get in on the bonuses, all that good stuff. But yeah, wanderwealthy.com/challenge to find out how you can get that next $1,000 or more money coaching client. So with that, since we're in the middle of that challenge, I also wanted to kind of pull it out here and share publicly what I see is standing in the way of most aspiring new or even seasoned money coaches getting those higher ticket clients. So I went ahead and made a list of 10 things. As always, this is not like a fully comprehensive or conclusive list. I'm sure there's other things, But these are the main saboteurs, if you will, that I notice. And honestly, I've probably personally experienced as well, because just like you, I was an aspiring at one point, and I was a seasoned money coach who was frustrated and wanting to reach my own goals and had to recognize how I may have been self-sabotaging, or what those external obstacles were that maybe weren't as important for me to pay attention to, or were more important than what I was, giving them credit for, and needed to kind of recognize those and just bring them into my conscious so that I could overcome them. All right, so we're going to go through this list here and now. So let's dive in to the number one. And by the way, these are not in order, but I did try to put them in order in terms of like where you might start. So a newer or an aspiring money coach might be starting closer to the 1s through 5s, whereas if you're a little bit more seasoned, you might be dealing with some of these mistakes, self-sabotaging things, or external obstacles, numbers 5 through 10. But we shall see. We shall see. I tried to put it in order, but I think also sometimes you overcome an obstacle and then it comes back to bite you, even though you're like, hey, I've been doing this for a while. So just recognize that sometimes you're never done with the good fight. There's always work to be done. Okay. So number 1 is the belief it's not possible to make money from money coaching. So why aren't you getting your first 4-figure plus client? Probably because you don't believe it's possible to do so. I know that this is easier said than done in terms of like, okay, so what are you supposed to do? Just believe it's possible? But honestly, yes. Belief is such a interesting thing. I mean, our beliefs are thoughts we just keep on thinking. And the thoughts that we have going over and over in our head every day, those create our reality, right? If we believe it's not possible, if we constantly tell ourselves that, then we're going to allow that to become our reality, right? So believing it's not possible to make money from money coaching is a natural just case for self-sabotage, because even though you're still trying, there's something where subconsciously your brain is going, wait, but we don't believe this is possible. So how can we make sure that it does not happen? Your subconscious brain, and for those of you who are new here, I'm not woo-woo. I'm a little woo-woo, but I also really like to kind of pay attention to the science and the understanding of our cognitive behavior. And so I've talked a lot about how our subconscious brain works in like previous episodes, probably before episode 160 or something. So if you need to do a deep dive, go back there. But as a just very brief example, your subconscious brain likes to take orders. It's like a walking, talking, hypnotized child. And it's really the thing that is keeping you alive. It pays attention and makes sure that you breathe every, I don't know how many milliseconds. It makes sure that you drink water when you're thirsty, that you go to the bathroom naturally, that you, even when you learn a path to drive, let's say to work, if, ever we're driving to work anymore, that's the subconscious part of your brain that takes care of all those like autopilot behaviors. But what it also does is it takes orders from your thoughts, and it sifts through those thoughts, and it identifies the thoughts that it needs to pay attention to. And sometimes these thoughts of, oh, it's just not possible for me to make money from money coaching, like I cannot see how this is going to work, your subconscious mind can latch on to that, and then it's going to go to work to make sure that that is not a reality for you. So this first thing that's holding you back is pretty simple to fix, but I think it can be really hard when you're like, so what am I just supposed to go from really being frustrated and not believing it's possible to all of a sudden like, oh yeah, apparently it's just totally possible and I just must, there must be something wrong with me. No. But what I would invite you to do is search and seek out the people who are making money from money coaching and let that kind of inspire you. Use them as an expander in your life to showcase what is possible for you. Because once you start putting some examples and some proof that something is possible in the most subconscious way, you're at least changing this kind of autopilot behavior of self-sabotaging, at least from that belief standpoint. So go seek out some proof if you do not have that proof, and find people who are doing this, who are making money from this. I am one of them. And so you're here, you're in a good space to know that it is totally possible to make money from money coaching, and you can too. Okay. So when you shift beliefs, sometimes you just have to go to the neutral space. So if you're not going to immediately be able to go from it's not possible for me to make money from money coaching, you can start with it is possible. I've found proof that it is possible for people to make money from money coaching, and then slowly start to change it to the fact that it is possible for you to make money from money coaching. Okay? The second thing, I need the second saboteur. I don't know what to call these. I'm just going to call them things. The second thing that is stopping financial coaches from getting their first or their next higher ticket client is not knowing what the path forward looks like in their business. So I find this is definitely true for most brand new coaches, but it can also be the case for even seasoned coaches who are feeling like they're at a crossroads or feeling like they're at a sticking point and they can't figure out, maybe they've been running their money coaching business and not making that much money from their coaching clients, or maybe they're coaching for free and they're feeling, this frustration, but also this confusion around like, how could I possibly charge more? So there's that. Or if you're brand new or you're even aspiring, you just have no idea what it looks like to be a money coach. And when you don't understand the business model, or you don't understand what that could potentially look like, it can obviously create this kind of black hole that you're staring into. It's really hard to set goals. It's hard to understand what you need to be doing today and then tomorrow and then next week and the month after. And that's what can stop you from saying, hey, I'm ready to, take on clients. Let's go. It's going to be this much money and this is how we're going to work together. So not knowing what the path forward looks like is another thing that could be stopping you. So what can you do? Well, you can, ask questions to other money coaches and understand what their business model looks like. This is something that we naturally go through in the very first phase of the Wealthy Coach Blueprint. I introduce you to what your business model will look like and the exact steps that we go through. And then the other thing that I make it a point of inside of the blueprint is every single week when we have our coaching calls, we also do accountability. And not only from the education do you find out what you need to be doing during the phase that we're in educationally, but we'll also be meeting weekly to identify what specific tasks do you need to do within this next week so that you can move your business forward. And I think, there's the long-term overarching kind of business model type of path that a lot of people have a hard time seeing, but there's also the day-to-day path that is like, but what should I be doing that's actually going to get me results? And a lot of people, I think, they try to figure out what that is, and it's either just a bunch of question marks or it's like so many things that you feel really overwhelmed and you don't know where to start. And so that overwhelmingness, I know that's not a word, but the overwhelm from all of the options that you have ultimately and usually leads you to analysis paralysis. So then you just don't take that step forward. And again, don't open up the doors, don't invite people to come work with you because you're just not sure how to get the clients, but then you're also not sure what it looks like once you get the clients. And that can lead you to self-sabotage in your own way because you're afraid of what that next step looks like, or you're confused, or you have no idea what that next step looks like. So definitely understand what that could look like for you by reaching out to fellow coaches or hiring your own coach to really help walk you through that business model of being a financial coach and also helping you in the day-to-day of okay, here's where you can focus today so that you don't have to worry about all the other things that are leading you to analysis paralysis. The third thing that is stopping you or my fellow money coaches from their next high-ticket client is lack of confidence in your ability to deliver. So you understand that in order for someone to pay you, let's call it $1,000, but let me be very, very frank. This is an arbitrary number, right? You could be coaching and charge $1,000. You could be coaching and charge $5,000 or more, right? The number is arbitrary, and usually it's heavily dependent on the solution and the problem that you solve and what that solution looks like, as well as your client type, your ideal client, the people that you end up working with and their perceived value. But regardless of that, it's a whole nother thing. If they're going to pay you to work with you, you need to have confidence that you're able to deliver them a return on their investment, deliver them the results that they're looking for. And a lot of coaches struggle with this concept, with this confidence on feeling like they can deliver. And it's understandable, because being a coach is a really interesting job. There's no way to guarantee results for people, because at the end of the day, you can hold the space for your client, you can give them the guidance, you can educate, you can hold them accountable, but the client is still in charge of getting their own results. They are the ones who have to actively move the money, or actively not spend the money, or actively make more money, or whatever, the solution ultimately is. So they are still in charge of that. Now, there's a lot of things you can do in terms of building out your coaching program and package to really help make sure that they're getting as much support as possible to make success almost inevitable. But at the end of the day, again, there's only so much you as a coach can do. So that's when, money coaches can get really, really hard on themselves and really down on themselves, because they feel this lack of confidence in their ability to deliver. So it's very similar to the first obstacle, which is that you don't believe you can make money from money coaching. This next one is a belief that let's say someone does pay you, but once they do pay you, you won't be able to deliver. And therefore, again, subconsciously, you go and block that opportunity for you to potentially fail, right? Because if someone pays you to work with you, but then you're not able to deliver because you have this belief you're not able to deliver, your brain is going, oh my gosh, I can't take someone's money and then not deliver the results to them, because that would be failure. So then naturally your brain is like, no, let's just avoid this at all costs. And therefore it's still blocking you from even being able to make the money in the first place. Now, this lack of confidence is interesting, right? Because we talked about with coaches that you can't guarantee the results, but you can, from a very kind of base level, create a perfectly suited program for your clients that if they take the steps, if they take them perfectly, they will 1,000%, get a return on their investment probably 100 times over. Now, if they don't take them perfectly, but they still do the steps and, go through your program appropriately, they're still going to get great results, right? And they're going to be way better off than not working with you in the first place. And so it's really understanding that. And, at first you really just have to be willing to take that dive in and understand that working with a third-party person and them holding the space and helping your clients just become aware of their spending or of the money that they're making, or their natural financial behaviors as they are today, is something that will allow them to improve. And that's not even you necessarily doing more for them. You're literally just potentially sitting there and saying, hey, let's look at what you're spending, let's look at what you're making, let's just look at the numbers. And just that alone can bring so much value to your clients, and is such a therapeutic process for so many of your clients to go through, because they finally are able to face it and they feel supported by you to face it. So from the baseline, there's so much value that you bring as a coach, but a lot of times we have a hard time seeing that, and we often just block ourselves because we are trying to guarantee results when in fact you cannot. And so there's this lack of confidence in your ability to deliver. Now, in the Wealthy Coach Blueprint, we have a step-by-step process that we take the money coaches, through to build a program that's perfectly suited for their ideal clients. So much so that the ideal client has basically built it themselves and has, told you so many things in terms of what they would expect and what they would need in order to pay an amount that makes sense for both you in your business as well as the client to be able to, make that investment. So there's a process that we go through that is super straightforward and allows the money coaches that go through the blueprint to feel very confident about their programs when they get to selling it. But of course, it's a process. It's something that we take our clients through. And that is, of course, an opportunity for you, if you do join us in the blueprint, to really get that confidence around what you are going to deliver and know that you can deliver it. The fourth thing that stands in the way of money coaches getting their 1K plus clients is not understanding how valuable money coaching really is. So again, this is another belief one, but there's a really easy way to back this one up and to kind of search out the proof. So along the same lines of not thinking it's possible to make money from money coaching or not feeling confident in your ability to deliver, not understanding the value of what money coaching does provide is also going to stop you from wanting to charge a higher ticket price, right? You're going to undercut the value of your offering because you don't quite know the true value of it. Now, this is something that we talked about 2 episodes ago. So episode 220, I talked about the 5 ROI or return on investment figures to track in your money coaching, especially for each of your clients as you're working with them, because it helps you get the confidence of the fact that you are delivering true value to them. It's also really great for your clients to see that all this work that they're doing and what they're being able to produce from that. And it's great for your marketing and selling in the future as well. But if you are struggling right now to get even these first set of clients, sitting down and doing this exercise for yourself and understanding, okay, how much money am I saving for myself? How much interest am I saving on debt that I'm paying off faster than I was before? How much money in the future am I creating for myself by investing today? How much have I stopped spending? How much have I increased my income? And those are the 5 figures that we go much more deep on in episode 220. But you also have to think beyond that, right? There's so much more value beyond just the things that you can put a number to, right? It's okay. It's good that we can put a number to it. That's amazing. That's actually awesome for being a financial coach, is you can actually do the math and figure out okay, if you put this much into me for being your coach, this is how much we can produce together for you. But in addition to that, there's all of the intangible value that so many people, so many of your clients will tell you about and talk to you about and thank you for. The intangible value of feeling better about themselves, about feeling more confident, about improving their relationships, about improving their own health, about being able to sleep. I mean, it just goes on. And that's stuff that is almost, what do they say? MasterCard is priceless. It's priceless. Is that an old ad? I think it's old now, but it truly is priceless. And the value of money coaching is far and away tens to hundreds of times beyond the price point that you're probably thinking you could possibly slap on your program, which if I'm saying 1K, you're probably thinking, okay, 1K. I'm going to push for 1K, but I'm saying you can also push for 1,500. You can also push for 2,500. You can also push for 3,500, 45, 55, beyond, right? The truth is, again, the price point is arbitrary. It's a perceived value of the work that you're going to be doing with your clients. And if you have clients who have a pain point and a problem that they really need help filling, then the value that you can provide the answer and solution to that problem and help them get out of it and help them get away from that pain and feel, allay their fears and help them reach their goals, again, that's priceless, but there's a price point that you got to slap on it at some point so that you can get paid and still have a sustainable and successful business that you can continue to work with even more people. Okay. So number 4, not understanding how valuable money coaching really is. It is so valuable. I have clients who make, 8K in terms of the results that when we work together, the money coaching clients specifically. And then I also have money coaching clients who, over the course of a year are 42 to 80K in the green, or what do they say? In the black? I don't know. But 80K more than, how they would have otherwise been had we not worked together. I mean, that is like, what does that mean? Should I charge 10K for money coaching? Maybe I will. All right, let's go to number 5. Number 5 is listening to the wrong people. Okay, so this might be getting in your way of getting your first high ticket client, is listening to the wrong people. Now, who are the wrong people? Well, the wrong people are basically anyone who aren't your ideal clients, aren't your mentor who sees the vision for you and with you, and aren't yourself. Okay? So these are the 3 people to listen to: your ideal clients, your mentor, and yourself. The wrong people are looking around at competition and seeing what they're doing. And if they're undercutting the price point that you want to charge, probably best not to listen to them. Probably best not to fall into that trap. Okay? Other money coaches, non-coaches, especially people who have opinions on what you're doing but have never done what you're doing, don't pay them no mind. And even family and friends who might be ideal clients, sometimes they, take their filter away and they let you know what they really think, but it's usually clouded by this idea of like, I wouldn't want to hire you though. Or they let you know what they really think, while at the same time not letting you know what's really going on, or they're just concerned for you. They're worried for you, and they're afraid that this is a risky place for you to go in terms of trying to build your own business. And their subconscious mind is coming up and trying to protect you, but really, trying to protect them, because that would make them uncomfortable if they were to go down that route. So there's a lot of chatter that you basically have to like put your blinders on and just kind of phase out and not listen to, because listening to it can be detrimental to you actually getting the results that you're looking for. So if you're looking for those higher paying clients who are ready and wanting to work with you, and yet you're still having a hard time getting them, it could be because we're listening to the wrong people. We're letting their opinions get the best of us, and that's keeping us small. And we're keeping ourselves small to either allow our family or friends or people who, aren't coaches but somehow have an opinion on this. We want to keep them comfortable. We don't like making them uncomfortable. Or we're not surrounded by the appropriate people, the people who we do need to be listening to. All right. Moving on. Number 6, not talking about your offer over and over again. Okay. If you're not getting high ticket clients, a lot of the times when I'm looking at new clients, and if that's one of their struggles, they have a program but it's not selling. And this is something that I used to do as well. I would create a program, be like super jazzed about it, but then I wouldn't talk about it. Like I would talk about it once and then I'd be like, why isn't anyone buying? And it was because I assumed that the one post that I made was enough, or that even like the 5 posts that I made, or the 5 kind of emails that I sent were enough. And the truth is, it's just not, right? People's attention spans are very, very small these days. We are also a very, very busy group of society, and there's a lot going on. And what your job truly is to establish yourself as a brand. And what a brand does is a brand stands for something. We call it your legacy inside of the Wealthy Coach Blueprint. You want to determine what your legacy is. And your legacy is ultimately like, what do you want to be known for, right? As a brand, you need to like be known for something. So as a person, you have this legacy. What do you want to be known for? And you know what? When you think about people who have a legacy, you think about what they talked about over and over and over again. So this is funny because a lot of us feel this pressure to need to create fresh, new, different, innovative content on our pages. And we also fall into this trap of like trying to be bloggers or influencers when in reality, if you're a money coach, you're an entrepreneur and you're a coach. Not to say that bloggers and influencers aren't entrepreneurs, but you're a different type of entrepreneur. You're a coach. And so the goal is to actually have a product that people are going to buy. You're not a content machine. You actually have one singular product that you want people to know about, to get comfortable with you about, and then to see you as an expert and see you as the solution to the problem that they are dealing with. And so when you talk about what it is that you have, the solution you have for your clients over and over and over again, you essentially become a broken record. Well, that solution, and I should also say, you're probably also talking about the problems and the fears and the goals that these people have, but it all leads to the solution that you have. And then what ultimately happens is that becomes your legacy. You become known for having this solution. You become known for helping these types of people. You become known for being able to talk about these specific problems. And that allows you to build top of mind awareness, which then allows people to see that this is a valuable offer. This is a solution to a specific problem, and more people will start to find out about it, and therefore you will ultimately get more clients. So how do you talk about these things? How do you create that offer? Again, that's something that we help you do inside of the Wealthy Coach Blueprint. If you have an offer right now, then start talking about it. Talk about it more than you think is acceptable, because most of the time, there's only a very small portion of your audience who is seeing your content. And if they're not buying, well, then, that's on them. But there are people who aren't seeing your content that haven't heard about what you have, and they could be the buyers. So we got to keep going. You got to become a broken record and build your legacy. What is it that you talk about? What do you stand for? What is your solution? Okay. Number 7 is an interesting one, but it is so true. A lack of enthusiasm when you talk about your offer, your program, your solution, okay? This is one that I think probably sounds easier said than done, but you ultimately, and this is hard when you're an entrepreneur, because again, it's a lonely world. There's no boss or manager to tell you you're doing a great job. So half the time you're just thinking you're messing it all up, right? If you've seen that TikTok or Instagram reel trend where they're like, are we supposed to know what we're doing? No? Okay. That's me every single day. And that's probably you every single day, right? So you have this doubt, and like a little doubt monster that you kind of continuously have to say like, no, I'm doing great. But then you have to get in front of your audience and talk about your program, talk about your offer, talk about your solution, and have that confidence and that excitement and enthusiasm for what it is. Because here's the deal. People will meet you energetically. And so if you have enthusiasm about what you're talking about, people feed off of that. And then they start to see, oh, that's something that I want to be a part of. Like I could get on board with that. And a lot of times it just comes from your energy and what you're like bringing to the table initially. And obviously you want to continue to deliver that as you move through your program. And, especially if they sign on to work with you and now they're working with you, you don't want to be like, and now let me tell you, I know nothing about what I'm doing and I don't believe in any of this. Obviously, you still want to have your remnants of confidence and keep your enthusiasm. But especially when you're selling and you're talking about it, having that enthusiasm truly, truly makes a difference. So people pick up off of your energy. And if you bring the energy to the table that is a little bit like doubtful or just this lack of confidence, or maybe you're feeling not excited about this, whatever it is that you're offering, that's going to come through too. And people will pick up on that. Even if it's not like obvious to the eye, it will be obvious to them subconsciously. Because remember, our subconscious part of the brain, that's the fight or flight. That's the survival mechanism. And if they're like, I want to make this big investment in this person, but this person, there's something a little bit off, they're going to get in on that and they're going to say, maybe next time. Maybe next time I'll do it, but something feels off this time. Okay. So you gotta have that enthusiasm. And the other thing is, you just gotta be your biggest hype person, hype woman, hype man, hype person, whatever you want. Every single day, you gotta be your own hype person. You're gonna whack away that doubt that creeps up, the doubt monster, but you also have to hype yourself up and hype up your offer. Trust and know and believe that it is the best thing you've ever created, and it is going to make a difference. It is going to change lives. Okay. So kind of along with the lack of confidence in your ability to deliver, that's something we need to work on. Lack of enthusiasm when you're talking about your offer. Now that you're actually, talking about it, you're showing up, you're trying to sell, maybe you're going through a launch period, that enthusiasm has to be there, the knowing that it's going to work and just hyping yourself up. I think a lot of us avoid this because we, don't want to come off as braggy because we were always brought up to, remember to like be humble and stay quiet. But you got to talk about this because at the end of the day, the people who are in your audience or the people who should be in your audience should be excited about what this is too, because they should see it as a solution as opposed to like, there's Molly bragging about her offer again. Typically, the people who will have that reaction are most likely going to be other money coaches. And those aren't the people you want in your audience. The people you want in your audience are the people that you help. So go find them, get them in your audience. Then you can bring all the hype and all the enthusiasm to your program as you want. And you should still be doing it now, even if you do have money coaches in the audience. I know, because this is a weird world that we live in, but we all follow each other. But keep it going. Show your ideal clients that what you've created is the best thing you've ever created, and it is the best solution for them. It's perfectly suited to meet their needs, solve their problems, get them to their goals. Okay. 3 more. Number 8 of what is stopping you from getting your first 4-figure money coaching client is the need for instant gratification. Okay, this is a big one. It's also very, very applicable to you as a financial coach when you are trying to coach your clients, because instant gratification is something that we are like so desperate for because we get it all the time, right? We have so much convenience in our lives and so much like next day or same day delivery, or you post something and then you see the likes come in. Things happen so quickly these days that we forget that building a strong, sustainable business takes time. Okay. So what typically happens when someone has a need for instant gratification, but they're trying to sell a higher ticket, higher touch, higher value money coaching program, is they'll be on the call and then they'll be desperate for this sale that they'll start to undercut themselves. Or they will create their program, they'll bring it to the public, and then it won't sell and they'll just give up. And they'll think, okay, I got to rebuild. I got to go back to the drawing board and build something entirely new. So it's either we undercharge because we just want it to sell as fast as possible to showcase to us that like, we could do it and yay, gratification. Now what's next? Or we build it, we don't get the results immediately, and then we give up. So this is a big one. And I know I've dealt with all of these obstacles that I've experienced, but truly, I mean, the answer to this obstacle is not fun. It's not sexy. It's just patience. It is resiliency, persistency, and patience. Patience to go through the steps to build a truly valuable program. Patience to really know your ideal clients, know what makes them tick, know what their biggest pain points are, know how to start those conversations with them, and how to help them see that there is a solution to their problems, help them become problem aware if they're not, and then become solution aware. This is a process and it's worth the wait, but oftentimes we aren't patient enough to see those results. So we go to the quick fixes, which is let me slash the price or let me give up and try something else. Okay. Number 9 is doing things backwards. So this is going to be confusing. I'm prefacing that because I think a majority of people do things backwards. Okay, they will decide they want to be a money coach. They'll think of kind of like an audience that they are pretty sure they want to serve, and then they'll build the program. And they'll spend hours, lots of energy, lots of research, maybe spend some money here or there to build the program, put it into like, an online program platform. So spending money there, then build the funnel, get the email marketing, get the freebie, spend lots of hours on the freebie, and then they'll kind of like put it out into the public and won't see the results. And usually when they build things this way, they also way undercharge it. They spend so much time on it, and then they put like a $100 or $200 price point on it. Okay, and then still don't see the results. So this seems like the forward way to do things, but I actually say this is building your business backwards, because the way that we do things inside of the blueprint, we do a lot of research on the front end. Then we build a framework. We build what I call the minimum viable program. We build out the outline. We configure it. Then we sell it. Then we finish actually building it. Then we finish filling it up. And then we deliver as we go. And a lot of people think, oh my God, I could never do that. How could I possibly do that? But it's really, really quite easy. And this is something that we support our clients through as they're moving through the blueprint is, ideally a majority of our clients get to the point where they're ready to sell, midway through the blueprint. And then they're starting to onboard clients. And then the kind of like final third of the blueprint is really focused on supporting the money coaches inside in delivering and supporting their clients, to making sure that they can both support their clients and also deliver the program that was promised. Now, a lot of people say, okay, well, but this feels unethical. And I argue this could possibly be the most ethical thing to do. We're not promoting, we're not selling a finished program. We're selling a beta round of a program. And we stay very open and transparent and honest, but that also allows you to make mistakes. It allows you to make a first round of a program and to deliver it to your clients and those who are beta testing it, because what typically happens when you offer beta is it's a lower price point. So they're getting the lower price point with the understanding that they're going to be part of creating this program. This gives them more value because it's going to be even more personalized to their needs and wants. And it also allows you to get the real-time feedback to make sure that this program is the best thing you could ever build. I think it's unethical for people to build a program that they think is best for their clients only to deliver it and realize it's not. I think it's a big waste of time too. I think it's the least efficient way to do things. I think it doesn't make sense. Even though our brain wants us to believe that makes sense, it technically is the backwards way of doing things. So if you're doing things backwards, that could also be a big reason why you're blocking yourself from a higher ticket client or getting clients at all. Okay, the last thing that is stopping you or any money coach, financial coach, wealth coach, from getting your first higher ticket client is this. You might be out of integrity with what you're asking your clients to do. Okay? And this could come in a couple different forms, but integrity is something that I really believe is necessary for coaches, because just like people can pick up on your enthusiasm, they can also pick up on your integrity. Okay. Someone just messaged me recently asking, if I feel like I still need to work on my finances, am I ready to be a financial coach? This sounds like a job I really would love. I would love to do this and build this business, but do I need to get my finances in order first? And this is the first thing I pointed out, integrity. Integrity is a really important thing. Now, here's the thing about that specific question. Do your finances need to have some order? Do you need to be in a place that is further along than, my finances are a mess, I have no financial management, I'm really struggling, and I have no idea how I'm going to reach my goals? Is that a good place to coach from? I wouldn't say so. But if you've gone through some sort of process, some sort of, your own transformation, and now you're at a point where maybe you haven't reached all your financial goals. Maybe you are still learning about investing. Maybe you're still paying off your own debt, but you have a system that's working, and now you have a timeline, and you know when you're going to have reached those goals. You have things in order. You don't feel like a hot mess. You don't feel like, like you're really struggling. You feel like you have things figured out, and now you just need to get a couple more things in place. What that tells me is you are in integrity. You've gone through that first level of transformation for your own journey. And most likely your ideal clients are the people who are back at your square one, right? You're beyond that now. You've gone through the transformation, and now you are in the place of, you have a process, you have some sort of system in place. You're working towards more goals, because we always should have goals, let's be honest. But you can certainly help someone who is in a place where you started, or where you were last month, or 6 months ago, or a year ago, or 10 years ago. Okay. That's the integrity that I'm looking for first and foremost. Another layer to this integrity piece is the investment piece, right? If you're having a hard time getting people to stand up and make this investment in you, then the question is, are you investing in yourself, or in your business, or in your next goal? Okay. You're asking your potential clients to make an investment. And if you are in integrity, if you don't walk your talk, if you aren't investing in your own way, in your future, in your next goal, then that again can be this kind of out of alignment and out of integrity scenario where they can pick up on it. If you're having a lot of doubt about the value of coaching in general, they can pick up on that because they see that maybe you haven't taken that step for yourself. Now, does this mean that you have to specifically invest in a money coach? Not necessarily. It can be a coach. It can be a business coach, of course. It can be a life coach. It can be it's really just about the fact that you see value in investing in a coach, and therefore you're able to help your clients see value in investing in you as their coach. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily matter what next goal you're making an investment in to rise to that occasion and to reach that next goal. It can be any type of life goal, but it's really making sure, again, you're in integrity with what you're asking your clients to do. Okay. So those are the 10. I know I went a little deep on some of them, but it's important. And I think hopefully you've been able to kind of earmark some that are posing as your obstacles, and start to use some of the tips that I shared, and seeking out the proof and the examples and what it is that you need to be able to fill those gaps and get yourself to your first or your next 4-figure or 1K plus money coaching client. Okay. So this is your last chance. It's not your last chance. You'll still have next week, but we have opened enrollment for the Wealthy Coach Blueprint. We still have some bonuses available for those who get in. I believe it's before this Sunday. So you make sure you get that. And ultimately how you can find out about these bonuses and everything is really just go to wanderwealthy.com/apply and check out the details there, and then fill out the application and sign up for a strategy session. And then I will let you know what bonuses are still available. If you're curious about them before then, just go follow me on Instagram. I'm at Tess_Wicks. You can send me a message there if you're curious about the bonuses and what we have. If you're inside of the challenge, you know what's happening. You know what's going on. Thank you so much for listening and showing up to the challenge. You are the best. But I am so excited for this next round. I know it's going to be life-changing for you and for your clients. And let's do this. Let's build your booked out coaching business, get you some money, get you some results, get your clients some money, get them some results, and just make a ripple effect on this world. All right. So one last time, wanderwealthy.com/apply. Enrollment closes next week, at the end of next week, and I do not want you to miss this next round, especially if you're feeling that call. It is your time. Let's do this together. And with that, I will see you next week. Until then, I hope you wander wealthy.